Movement 2. Dragon looks to the horizon. The large goals of this movement are to release stagnant qi, to help energy circulate more strongly and fluidly throughout your body. This movement also works deeply to relax the soft tissues of the neck, shoulders, and arms. During this movement, one of your hands will rise up the center line of your body and go to the side. The opposite hand will rise up the center of your body to finish in front of your heart. In the movement, from the center to the side, you will go from facing forward to pivoting on the ball of your rear foot and turning in the direction of your hand that is on the side of your body. Recognize these main points in terms of the physical coordination of the movement. In movement number 2, you will be using a hand position known as the beak hand. The making of a beak hand is a major movement in all of Chinese Qigong. You'll see his 5 fingers coming together. Each of your fingers, directly through its meridian line movement, connects to one of your internal organs. So by opening the hand, you release the energy from your internal organs, and by closing the hand into a beak, you draw energy from the air, from your fingertips, and activate or stimulate your internal organs. This movement not only appears in Dragon and Tiger Qigong and in many, many forms of Qigong, but it's particularly known in the Tai Chi movement of single whip, where it's one of the major Tai Chi movements. When the fingers come together and all 5 fingers touch, that takes the energy of all your major internal organs, your heart, your liver, your spleen, your lungs, your kidneys, and joins their energy so they circulate between each other to the best effect for your health and your entire energy field. Landmarks. Start with the hand at the outside of your thigh. Bring the hand around to the inside of your thigh as in exercise 1. Bring the hand up the inside of the thigh to the perineum and up to the dantian. The palm turns up as the hand rises up the center line to the heart. The palm draws across to the shoulder's nest as the elbow starts to drop. And then the hand pulls out away from the shoulder and starts to form a beak. The elbow drops. The fingers drop under the face to the ground and complete the beak hand. The hand releases and flicks away. And then the whole arm floats down until the palm faces the outside of the thigh. Repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable and without straining. Only then should you move to the next step. A couple of major points to remember in this movement is that you need to let your elbow go down and your shoulder rotate, your shoulder blades rotate as your elbow drops. You need to relax your wrists so your fingers can point to the ground. And the main reason why your fingers are not going to point completely to the ground is that either your elbow is very stiff or your shoulder is very stiff. Don't look for the solution in your fingers. Look for the solution in letting your shoulder rotate and your elbow rotate within its natural range of motion. And breathe. Let your breathing become soft and relaxed and easy. That helps you to relax. That helps you to release all the nerves that tell your body not to do what your mind is telling it to do. Start with the hand on the outside of your thigh. Bring the hand around to the inside of your thigh as in movement 1, as in exercise 1. Bring the hand up the inside of the leg to the perineum and up to the dantian. The palm turns up as the hand rises up the center line to the heart. The palm draws across to the shoulder's nest as the elbow starts to drop. And then the hand pulls out away from the shoulder's nest and starts to form a beak. The elbow drops. The fingers drop under to face the ground and completes the beak. The hand releases and flicks away. And then the whole arm floats down until the palm faces the outside of the thigh. Repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable without straining. Only then should you move on to the next step. If you simply take the time to let this become comfortable, then when you try and make both hands work together, it's going to be dramatically easier. If you give things their natural time to develop, like plants, like babies growing into adults, you don't need to have the frustration of trying to make a plant go from the seed in the ground to being fully grown in a day or two. It just doesn't happen that way in nature. We're human beings and we follow the laws of nature. Simply do that and realize you just have to give yourself the natural time to allow your body and nerves to relax. The next movement is just a preliminary movement so that you can get used to having your hand make the circular motion that you do in movement number 2. So you can get your hand used to moving around. The most important point being that your shoulder will rotate fully, because many people have neck and shoulder pain because their shoulders do not rotate fully. Something they could do easily when they were young, but they lose as they get older. And this is what you're looking for. Do it with the right hand, do it with the left hand. Getting them so that this circularity, this rotating of the shoulders can be done smoothly. Then you make that circle go in both directions, a bit like a chorus where one begins the refrain of a music and then another 10 or 15 seconds later, or a quarter of the circle later, the next chorus begins repeating the same words. So your two hands are making the exact same movement, but slightly out of phase with each other. While you're doing this, one of the most important points is not to lock your elbows. If you look closely, you will see that his elbows are always remaining bent, as well as there is always space, open space in the inside of his armpit, between his upper arm and his ribs. Under no circumstance should your upper arm close down. Should your armpit close down, and should your upper arm touch your ribs. The armpit remaining open is a very important technique of Qigong that ensures that the Qi circulates smoothly through your body. And let your hands come down and rest. And if you need to do this again, another round, and again another round, feel free. Because these motions will be used in movement 2 rather extensively. Moving both arms together. One hand is at the height of the heart. The other hand begins in the flicked position. As the hand drops down to the outside of the thigh, the upper hand draws across to the shoulder's nest. As the hand revolves around to the inside of the thigh, the hand starts pulling away from the shoulder and starts forming the beak. The hand at the bottom draws up the inside of the leg to the heart. The elbow drops under, and the hand forms a beak, fingers pointing to the ground. The hand releases and flicks away. And then the whole arm floats down until the palm faces the outside of the thigh. Repeat 20 times or until you become comfortable without straining. Only then should you move on to the next step. When most people begin, until their motions are fluid, there's a tendency for one arm to move and the other one not to move too much. But as you get better at it, and you become more fluid, the whole issue is that both arms should move completely smoothly in sync with each other. As though you really only have one hand. It's not like two hands are moving. It's like one hand is moving. Each one just triggering the other. The dropping of one hand causing the other hand to rise. The moving of one hand toward the center of your body causes the other hand to move toward the outside of your body. And most important, after the flick, to really let the dropping hand move the sense of chi down your flanks and down the outside of your hand to your foot. If you do these, the energy through your meridian lines, as long as your body are tracing the right meridian lines, will slowly start opening up until you'll actually begin to feel the chi moving along your skin. Next, we're going to move on to how you should be turning your hips and your waist from side to side as your body turns from side to side as you go into a big hand. So as you can see, he's turning from his hips. You don't turn from your shoulders or from your ribs. You turn from your hips. More specifically, you turn from a place that the Chinese call the kwa, or the inguinal fold, the bikini cut, that you'll see in people whose hands are going. This attaches to the iliopsoas muscles in your body and the adductor muscles of your body, which are basically what are responsible for your body turning and connecting your legs to your spine. So as you turn toward the outside, you have a sense of your inguinal field going up. As you turn to the inside, you have a feeling of it going down. The way he's moving his hands is mimicking what you want to do with the muscles in that area. Next, we'll add the flick to the body turn. When the body has shifted its weight fully to the right leg and turned to the right leg, and the left heel is raised, at the end, the left foot flicks back and down, toes pointing to the ground. As the body turns back, the foot is placed back on the ground with the ball of the foot touching down first. The weight shifts to the left leg, and the turn picks up the right heel. When the turn and shift is complete, the right foot flicks, toes pointing back and down to the ground. Just repeat over and over again. Just as, when you go further, the flicking of your foot needs to be as relaxed as the flicking of your hand, although in the beginning most people's feet are much more tense. Do your best just to release the flicking of your foot. Just let it release. A bit like a dog scratching the ground behind him, or a bull in a bullfight, the way when they make their foot go backwards, the dust raises. Just have a sudden release. Because you're trying to release the chi out your feet, out your toes, just as the same action will happen by releasing the chi out of your hands. This is all about releasing stagnant chi. Now let's go back and put the arm movements with the turning of the waist and the flicking of the foot together into one flowing movement. The body faces forward. The left hand is facing the outside of your left thigh. The right hand is facing the right shoulder's nest. As the body turns to the right hand draws away from the shoulder and forms the beak. The left hand comes up to the height of the heart. At the time the weight is fully on the right leg and the left heel is raised, the right hand and left foot flick together. The body starts to turn back. The foot is placed down, turning to the left. The right hand is dropped to the outside of the thigh. The left hand faces the shoulder's nest as the body faces forward. Turning and shifting to the left leg. The left hand draws across to make a beak. The right hand comes up to the height of the heart. The right heel is raised up off the ground. When the weight is fully transferred to the left leg, both the left hand and the right foot flick together. You're now going to repeat this 20 times, or until you can finally do it being comfortable and without any kind of strain. Only after you can do the movement comfortably, no matter how many times you have to go through the whole sequence, should you move on to the next step. This second movement is the most difficult for most people to get. So you just have to do it over and over again so you can be without anxiety, without, oh my God, what's going to happen next? So you simply can do it and be comfortable with the fact that you're doing it.